Now, let's talk about something that many of us may not be aware of, our subpersonalities. Now, psychology has shown that we have about 5 to 15 ego states or parts that we use in our daily lives. These parts have different voices, mannerisms, and expressions, and only one of them is executive at one time. You may not even realize it, but when you point to yourself, you're pointing to an ego state. Now, the executive ego state is the one that's running the show, and it's connected to your prefrontal cortex. It's the one that's burned into your brain as a neural pathway. And you may have noticed sudden mood changes when a different ego state becomes executive, pushing the weaker one out. Now, this reminds me of a Disney Pixar movie called Inside Out, where the main character, an 11-year-old girl named Riley, experiences the world through her emotions: joy, sadness, anger, fear, and disgust. Each of these emotions are personified as a character, and they work together as a team to help Riley navigate through her daily life. Now, for example, joy is typically the executive emotion, making decisions and directing Riley's behavior. However, when sadness takes over and becomes the executive emotion, Riley's mood and behavior change drastically. Now, did you know that we have about 100 to 150 other ego states that don't become executive very often? For instance, you might have an ego state that's a great driver, or one that tells you when you're hungry, or tired and need to go to bed. If you're good at a particular sport, you'll have an ego state that's good at that too. So, how can understanding ego states help with therapy? Well, one of the keys to making therapy work is getting a wounded or damaged ego state to become executive. But how do you do that? Well, you must first feel that awful feeling in your body and get a sense of the physical manifestation of that emotion or feeling. That way, you can bring it to the executive and start working to heal it. Now, the Disney Pixar movie Inside Out also demonstrates the importance of recognizing and working through emotions, even the difficult ones like sadness, to achieve emotional balance and well-being. It's similar to the idea of making sure that the wounded, damaged ego states become executive in therapy in order to effectively address and heal the emotional issues. Now remember, if you can feel it, you can heal it. As a therapist, make sure that your client's damaged ego states are executive by checking that they can actually feel the problem before applying the therapy. And by using emotions and feelings to bridge the gap to the executive states, you can help heal and restore balance to the ego states.